Kpang, kpang, kpang. Gather, my people, welcome to Venom Rinse, where African stories live forever. Sit close, listen well, for the tale begins. A story of a boy whose footsteps carried him from the dusty red earth of his village to the green fields of faraway England. This is the story of Abdoulaye, son of Lamin the firewood seller, and Mariama the market woman. Abdoulaye was born into a house of 7 souls. His father, his mother, his 3 sisters, Ajifatu, Naima, and little Aisatu, and his younger brother, Suleiman. Abdoulaye was the second born, his eyes always sharp like the hawk that circles a riverbank, and his mind quick as the river's current. Though the family was poor, their laughter was rich, and their compound, though small, was filled with love and quarrels like any other African home. Every morning, Lamin tied his worn wrapper around his waist, lifted his cutlass, and disappeared into the bush, returning with bundles of firewood upon his shoulders. His body was strong, but his back was bent from years of carrying the forest home. Mariama, his wife, would tie her lapetite around her waist, balance a basin of vegetables upon her head, and walk to the village market. There she would sit among other women, her voice rising in song and bargaining, as she sold okra, pepper, and tomatoes to feed her household. Abdoulaye and his siblings went to school. He was a brilliant boy. They said, quick with numbers, clever with his tongue, and respectful to elders. His teachers often patted his head and told his parents, "This boy, if he continues, he will bring you honor. But destiny, my children, often wears a different robe than what we expect." You see, from a young age, Abdoulaye's heart beat not for classroom, but for the round leather ball. Not even leather at first. It was plastic bags tied together with string, rolling on the dusty village ground. He would rise early, his eyes shining, and instead of studying, he would chase the ball barefooted, his feet hardened by the earth, his legs running swifter than the village goats. His father frowned at him. "Abdoulaye," Lamin would say, sweat dripping from his brow, "books are the firewood of the mind. Football will not put food on this table." His mother, too, shook her head. "My son, you are wasting your gift. Leave this nonsense and go back to school." But Abdoulaye, like a stubborn young bull, did not listen. His dream was bigger than their fears. On the village field, children gathered, their shorts torn, their shirts faded. Abdoulaye would stand among them, his body lean, his eyes fierce. When the ball touched his feet, the crowd shouted, "Ei Abdoulaye, play for us." He dribbled past boys older and stronger than him, kicking up dust like a whirlwind. The village crowd sang of him even as a boy, saying, "This one has the spirit of the game in his blood." When the call came for trials in the nearby town, Abdoulaye's family had no money for boots, no money for jerseys. He went barefooted, his toes white with dust, his shorts hanging loose. But when he played, my children, the ball obeyed him like a drum obeys the drummer's hand. The coaches looked at him with wide eyes, whispering, "This boy, where has he come from?" It was not easy. He faced hunger on many nights, sleeping on mats, his stomach empty, but his dream full. He traveled from village to town, from town to city. Sometimes he would walk long distances just to play. Sometimes he would wash cars or carry loads to pay for his transport. Still, he never gave up. Years passed. His name began to move like the wind, first in his region, then across the country. Scouts came, foreigners with strange accents and suits too tight for the African sun. They watched Abdoulaye on the field, and they saw what his father could not see, a star in the making. The day Abdoulaye left the village, his mother cried, tying her best wrapper, blessing him with kola nut and prayers. His father stood tall, his pride hidden under his silence, but his eyes wet with tears. The villagers gathered, singing, drumming, sending their son into the world. In England, far away from the mango trees and the call of the mom at dawn, Abdoulaye wore real boots for the first time. The fields were green like new rain, the stadiums loud like a festival. He stood tall, now a man, his name chanted by thousands. Abdoulaye, the boy who once played barefooted on dusty streets, was now a professional footballer in the English Premier League. And when he scored his first goal, he fell to the ground, pressing his forehead against the grass, remembering the red earth of his village, remembering the firewood on his father's back, the vegetables on his mother's head, the laughter of his sisters, and the dreams of his younger brother. My children, this is Abdullah's story. From poverty to greatness, from dust to glory. Let it remind you that a dream is like a seed. It needs courage, patience, and the blessing of the ancestors to grow. So, if you too have a dream, no matter how small, hold it tightly. For who knows, the barefooted boy of today may be the shining star of tomorrow. Bang, bang, bang. The drum of the story has ended, but its echo lives in your heart. This is Venom Rinse. Subscribe, share, and return for many more African tales await.